we are. This is the final episode of Diaries of a Six-Figure Coach podcast before we are in the new year. And I wanted to talk about the beginning line. This was a big reframe for me. And I want to talk about that while also talking about 2022 and what I've learned and where I'm at. So where am I at? Right now, I am actually still sitting in my little studio in Costa Rica. But when this episode airs, I will be in Tulum. And if you're following me at Theresa Lambert Coaching, you will see new vibes from Tulum. I would have been settled in by now and arrived in my place in Tulum, and I'm going to be staying there until the end of March. And one thing that I can tell you is that I'm really excited to be in one place for 3.5 months. Really, really excited. So physically, I'm going to be in Tulum. Mentally and emotionally, God freaking knows where I'll be on this day. But one thing that I know for sure, it's proud. I'm really, really proud of myself, how I've navigated this year, where I'm at, and how I have been redefining traditional pillars of stability. This has been a really, really big one for me. I grew up, a little bit of background, I grew up moving a lot. I actually moved 26 times by the time I was 21. So I lived in one place less than a year on average. And so having lived in Whistler, BC for 16 years and having owned a home and lived there for 11 years with my ex-husband, became a real pillar of stability for me, something that I was really proud of, something that I was really feeling incredibly good about, safe about, building a future. And so letting that go was a big thing to me. Letting that go, moving on, and restarting my life was huge. And I feel emotional because there was a lot of grieving around that. A lot of grieving. And that's okay. And in order to do this, in order to change my life, in order to make the decision that felt like it was the one that felt true to me, that was the loving decision to make, I was faced with letting that go. I was faced with moving on from people, from places, from ideas. And I started rebuilding these pillars of stability for me. And they are no longer based around having an address with a steady home. They're no longer based around my relationship status. They're no longer based really around things like my title or my job or what I do. But instead, I have been redefining pillars of stability around how I feel day after day and staying true to that. Creating the feeling of home. Being connected with my purpose. Being devoted to my spirituality, to be tuned into my intuition. Not the kind of pillars of stability that we're used to or taught. And I'm proud of myself for that. Because getting to this point wasn't easy. And it took up a lot of courage. And not surprisingly, there was an episode early on in this podcast that was called Buckets of Courage, because we all have so much courage inside of us. And I think we don't often go there. And if 2022 has taught me anything, it's that I have a tremendous amount of courage. I'm a bold person and I get to own that. I make moves, big ones. I make decisions in alignment with what I know to be true at a soul level, how I desire to feel, what's the most loving thing, even if that means making sacrifices, even if that means taking risks, even if that means letting go of beliefs and thoughts that I valued and cherished for so long. And that is huge. That is really huge. And I'm proud of myself for that. And I'm also proud of myself for really dismantling my business in that sense and getting clear on what was working for me and what wasn't as we're heading into the next year. And, you know, a lot of people are talking about the recession, what's going to happen. There is fear. People are worried. Will I be able to build my business? Will I be able to do it? Is it going to impact me? And I am going into the coming year with this clarity that I am meant to be serving in high-level mentorship spaces, in intimate spaces, my one-to-one, my masterminds, which are all high-ticket programs. And I do have some courses that people can tap into, but interestingly enough, I made all those decisions from a balanced place and from what feels good and true for me on the inside, not considering economic factors, not considering things outside of me, but because I know at that level, I will be able to guide, support, serve my clients in a way that allows them to continue to get the results regardless of the economy that we have. And that's another bold statement to make. But I really believe that. I believe that regardless of what's happening in the economy, there's always opportunities. I believe that we can continue to have businesses that support us, that have us feel safe, that allow us to live the way we want to live, regardless of what happens on the outside. And that can only happen though if internally you're whole and you're balanced and you're certain and you create that connection and that safety from within. And then your results on the outside will be able to reflect that. So how you're feeling on the inside, how you're showing up, the way you make decisions, the way you even plan your business, right? We've been diving into that. When it's all aligned with how you want to feel, when it's aligned intuitively, when it's really true to you, you are going to be able to create results that are tremendous. And I truly believe that you can do that regardless of the economy. But it will require you to focus, and it might require you to make tough choices. It might require you to be courageous and bold. It will require you to show up and continue to show up even when maybe it's not working. And I have done that in my business from day one. I've been doing that in my life. And like I just shared, I'm proud of myself to have gotten to this point. Here we are, the end of 2022. And we're approaching what I call a beginning line. You know, back in the day, I always was kind of stressed when we got to the end of the month, the end of the year. Did I hit all of my goals? Did I do all that? I shared with you in the episode around the plan that I felt a lot of resistance, even having a plan and setting goals. This is part of the reason. And one point I started to realize that every time we start a new month, every time we start a new year, really all we're doing is walking through a new beginning line. It's almost like we can bring freshness back into what we're doing, but it is a beginning line. It's a loop. It's a loop. You're just starting again. You're not starting new. And everything that you've been doing, everything that you have created all through 2022, everything that you create within a month, it compounds. Every seed you planted in 2022 gets to come with you. There is hundreds, maybe thousands of seeds that you planted throughout 2022 that will support you as we're heading into 2023. You're crossing a beginning line with more seeds planted than the year before, or the year before, or the month before. You're compounding your efforts, you're compounding your messages, you're compounding your impact. So you are going into 2023. I am going into 2023. We are going into 2023 not with nothing, not without knowing, not with beginning from scratch, but with beginning the year, crossing the beginning line with possibly thousands of seeds planted. Every post you dropped, every interaction you had, every masterclass you had, every conversation you had in 2022, every time somebody read something you wrote, heard you speak, listened to your podcast, every single interaction you had, you planted a seed. And as we're crossing the beginning line, these seeds are already there. So you are moving past this beginning line from a place of power. And today I want you to be reminded about that. Especially knowing that this recession, some people say it's already here, some people say it's coming. Regardless of what's dooming, regardless of the chatter, regardless of what we're feeling, you're crossing the beginning line with seeds planted. You're crossing the beginning line with impact that you've already had. You have done incredible things this year. And I know in my heart and in my soul that if you're listening to this podcast, if you're here, if you're in my world, if you're on my Instagram at Theresa Lambert Coaching, that all that you see in me, you have too. That all you see in me, all the qualities, all the values, the reason why you're listening, the reason why you feel connected to what I have to say is because you innately possess the skills. You have that kind of courage. You have that kind of boldness. You have the capacity to create the kind of business that allows you the freedom to play, that affords you the lifestyle you want, that ignites you and encourages you to play bigger, to be more audacious, to say what you want to say, to have the presence, to be a powerful coach, a guide, a consultant. You have the skills, you have the qualities within you. And I am here to be a mirror. I am here to remind you of parts of you that you might have forgotten about. What are you proud of in 2022? Can you take a moment and acknowledge yourself? How many seeds have you planted? Can you take a moment and put your hand on your heart and allow yourself to feel it? The impact. The knowing that you were about to cross the beginning line into 2023, already having made an impact, already having planted thousands of seeds, already having things accomplished that you can be proud of, already having acknowledged your courage, your boldness, your audacity, your willingness to show up and do the work, your desire for freedom to feel connected, to play a bigger game, your grit and resilience to stay committed and connected to your purpose, no matter what's happening outside of you, what's happening externally. You're going into the coming year acknowledging the light and the love and the power and potentiality that can only be created through you. It's so beautiful. And I don't have a crystal ball, but I know 2023 is going to be a really, really incredible year. I feel blessed beyond belief for the clients that I have, that I get to serve, for this community, for every single one of you listening. I feel grateful for friends and family who have supported me all of 2022. New friends who I get to hang out with in Tulum. One friend, I'm going to live with her for a few months here. I'm so excited. And so I will be moving once while I'm in Tulum. But it's going to be really great. So if you're following me on my Instagram, you'll see it and you'll see the background change. But it's going to be really, really beautiful. And I'm recording this episode now because everyone's taking vacation. So I was working ahead, but I'm tuning in to the end of the year, to crossing this beginning line. I'm going into 2023 feeling really, really solid and knowing that it's going to be just a really cool, fun, expansive year ahead. And I'm so excited to see who of you might be joining me in my world, who might be coming into mentorship containers with me, new clients that I've not met yet. Again, Strategic Mastermind is open. You can still come join us. There's a click for more info below, or just DM me and let's chat about working together in that program, or working together in my one-to-one or momentum. So many good things coming. But I'm just really excited and I'm blessed, and I'm excited to see right now, this moment, what it's going to be like living in Tulum, what it's going to be like spending time there as I continue my journey, as I continue to redefine what life has to look like to feel stable as a traveling entrepreneur, as I continue to pursue my dreams and create something that feels worthwhile, that feels in alignment with my truth, that allows me to live my purpose, to give generously. So many things I'm excited about. So we're crossing a beginning line. You're not starting again. You're taking all this with you. So know that we're going into 2023 ready. We're going into 2023 compounding our efforts, more on top of more. We're going into 2023 with wind in our sail already. Really lean into that. That is my invitation for you. That is my invitation for you. With this being said, this is a wrap. This is a wrap for 2022. Next week, I'm hopping on with Jen Arden. She's amazing. We're having an epic conversation about manifestation and everything in between business and all the things. And it's a beautiful, beautiful convo. I can't wait to share with you. And if you're on my Instagram at Theresa Lambert Coaching, come say hi. I would love to know, what was your favorite episode in 2022? What message really landed with you? Share it with me, drop into my DMs, share it in your stories and tag me at Theresa Lambert Coaching. What spoke to you? What moved you? What caused you to make a change? What did you appreciate? Tell me. I would love to know. I would love to hear from you. Let's ring out 2022 together by sharing this, by sharing what landed, what resonated. I love you all so much. I'm excited to continue this journey with you and to see where it takes us around the globe in 2023, and to together build very wildly successful, profitable businesses in 2023 that allow us the freedom to play, the freedom to choose and do and be what we want, and to create these beautiful relationships with our business that has us feel butterflies. So let's cross this beginning line on at a very high connected frequency level of love, of knowing, of certainty. That's where I'm at. I love you. I will chat with you in 2023. Thanks for being here. It means the world to me. And let's play big.